Hey you guys, I am so thankful for this video series' reception by you all, whether it be on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok. I'm really thankful for the listening that you guys have done and the engagement that you guys have offered. Sometimes in life, you have to say that thing that's on your chest, even if it's been sitting there for years, you'll get the inclination of when it's time to say it. And I knew after a year and a half of autistic affirming therapy that it was finally time for me to reintegrate back into life. After a year of unmasking, we began to pick and choose and pull at things from different parts of the mask, so to speak, that I had released. For instance, one thing that I had let go of was the need to walk onto the stage during a performance and address the entire audience. I used to walk on stage and look from the left of the room all the way over to the right of the room, make sure that I looked into many people's eyes and start the show off with a big bang. And that was because I wanted to show people that I was there to entertain and that they were about to get a show. And I let that go. I decided that my show would begin with a piano and me walking onto the stage without a big introduction. The big introduction was a mask to act or make people feel like or try and express that I'm a big deal. I don't feel like a big deal. I don't desire to be a big deal. I just desire to be. So I love to walk onto a stage without a whole bunch of pomp and circumstance. I went to go see Samara Joy. When seeing her perform, I noticed that she simply walked onto the stage without an introduction. And it was at this big, beautiful jazz hall. And she had on all the beautiful clothing and the band was beautiful, etc. But in the same way that I didn't want a big introduction, I learned that she didn't have this big introduction. Point is so I tried that for an entire tour. And that was a part of the unmasking process for me, was taking off all the hoopla and the hype and the pomp and circumstance. That doesn't mean that my favorite colors aren't neons and happy things. It doesn't mean that I'm not an effervescent person. It just means that I don't like lots of pomp and circumstance. I'm not very formal, right? Classic, but not formal. And so taking that off and then walking onto the stage with just the piano, starting off the show with Love Is You, one of the simpler songs in my portfolio. And then moving directly into a jazz ballad, Send in the Clowns, a song that I sing from a place within and not necessarily from a performance space, but more of a just sing the song space.
Isn't it rich? Are we a pair? Me here at last on the ground, you in midair. Send in the clouds.
You know, just not performative as much as felt deeply within. So I started my shows off like that, and I let that be the beginning of the unmasking. I was really nervous to do it, and so I wore clothes that covered me because I didn't want people to see so much of me while I was unmasking, if that makes sense, because I was unmasking musically, not necessarily physically. I colored my hair pink during that time because I needed, as soon as I enter the room, that you know that this is not that serious. This is a playful inner child who has grown up and become an adult. And I moved into a more self-affirming place where I could affirm that the decision or the choice that I was about to make, I loved enough, and then I could choose whether or not I wanted to share it. So reintegration is about affirming all the different parts of yourself the parts of yourself that you hid or that you put behind a mask, affirming those parts, and then taking a second look at them and deciding which of those parts do you now want to give to your spouse, give to your daughter and son, give to your best friends, give in the workplace, and or give on stage. So in many ways, social media is a part of my stage. And so today, I would like to share the parts of me that I have decided to reaffirm and then reintegrate into and onto the stage and who I am in the world of business, art, and culture. In my notebook, that I'm very into stationery and paper and painting, and trying to get the colors that are in my head onto paper. So this is a kind of journal that I put a lot of what I'm working through and a lot of my process in, because I'm a person who needs to see it really big and in the colors that I need it to be in. I'm a very color-oriented person, which is kind of why this book is black, because depending on how I come to this book, I don't want to be inspired or influenced by the color of the book, right? So that's how I learn, that's how I process. The first place that I'm moving and integrating and reintegrating and unmasking publicly is I'm moving into the jazz space. I went to school for vocal jazz performance. I've been a vocal jazz artist since I was really young. Musically, that's where my heart lies. Jazz is my heart. I love the melodies. I love the chord structures. I love brushes on the drums and the small drum set. The simplicity of keeping rhythm assigned to the drums, assigned to the rhythm section. I love the clarity and conciseness of jazz. I love the history of jazz. I went to school to learn about it. It is one of my special interests. I am obsessed with jazz. And so I am going to be spending a lot of my dream energy pursuing jazz music, vocal jazz, and vocal jazz performance. I have a really exciting surprise for you guys this September with one of my favorite musicians. And so I can't wait to share that with you. But jazz is one of the spaces and places that I will be reintegrating or positioning myself. One of my favorite things in the world is fashion, but not trending fashion. Two kinds of fashion. So the second place that I will be reintegrating, unmasking, and repositioning myself is in my boutique. I have opened up a boutique I'm really excited about. And in that boutique, you'll find little pieces like these and cozy items like these, just really sensory friendly colors that ignite your inner child and or your imagination in the cozy fashion space. Cozy fashion, right? So anything that makes you feel warm, cozy, centered, grounded, at peace, different fabrics that feel a certain kind of way up against your body, sensory friendly fabrics, clothing that fashions the woman's body, where darting and seams are placed very specifically to accentuate and flatter and celebrate a woman's natural shape. Of course, all women have different shapes, but celebrating the décolletage area, treating it with care, thinking about how a woman's breasts fill in a garment, thinking about how a woman's bottom fills in a garment. Where would she want to be covered? Where would she want to be seen? What makes this outfit flowy and sweet and soft and feminine and modest? The patterns that are chosen, for instance, Dolce & Gabbana, you're always going to find a floral, a very classic rosy floral. You're always going to find a black and white polka dot. I will work diligently in my boutique space to bring in these feminine pieces that celebrate the woman's body. But it is a business built from passion of who I actually am and what I actually love, which is coziness and ladylikeness. So I hope that you love and enjoy the boutique. And finally, the place that I love the most in the world is paper and colors and pens. I love, love, love to write, feel the texture of good paper, delicious paper. I have many books. This book is lined with a very thick cardstock, but I also love books that are lined in linen, like my friend Brandy Freely's Sundays and Other Musings book. So I'm very big on paper goods. I love paper goods. I've got stamps. I've got oils that I can create seals on the backs of envelopes, embossed paper. I love paper. So I am starting what is called the Flower Mama Postal Service, FMPS. And when you join the Flower Mama Postal Service, you will receive mail each month directly from my little warehouse. And it will include photography that I create from my garden with poetry on the back of the photography cards. It'll include some of the essays that I write in journals like these. I don't want to put them out digitally. I want you to be able to hold them in your hand on beautiful paper and take them in a personal space all to yourself. There'll be, I love stickers. If you guys have ever received mail from me, from my boutique, or from any other time where I've sent out mail, you've seen either stickers or sparkles or different types of fun, kitschy things that you can touch with your hands and then put on things that you love, like the back of maybe your computer. The Flower Mama Postal Service is where I will be affirming the part of me that loves to communicate through words and through paper, that touchy-feeliness of paper. The fourth place where I will be reintegrating and positioning myself, faith-based mental health and wellness. What I've learned in life is we all have different challenges, but I do know for sure that there is a God who loves me so much, who's willing to walk with me through the depths of the human mind, the very bottoms of the most broken spaces, and touch those places and allow me to live with the Holy Spirit on the inside of my heart that then informs how I perceive who I am in this human body. My neurology is not a curse. My neurology is not a punishment. My neurology is not God abandoning me. My neurology is what builds my character, because my neurology puts me in contact with needing patience. It puts me in contact with needing peace, needing joy, needing discipline, and all of the fruits that the Holy Spirit offers. Patience, discipline, long-suffering, joy. If it wasn't for the challenge of my humanity, I might never know the beauty of walking with the Holy Spirit. So the fourth place that I am reintegrating and repositioning and affirming myself is in the faith-based mental health and wellness space. So I am so excited to share all of this with you. It means so much. Flower Mama Society, Flower Mama Postal Service, Flower Mama Health and Wellness. So thank you for your patience over the years, knowing that she wasn't exactly where she's going, but she's going to get there soon. So this last song that I have written from my inner child, I released it with the intention of seeing if it was time for me to reintegrate myself into the world and finally feel affirmed. I feel not only affirmed, but I also feel empowered and ready to move forward. When people listened to the song, my friends, my family, my loved ones, they started calling me Flower Mama, which is the name of the song, but they could tell that their friend Chrissy wrote it. The Chrissy they know wrote it. And when I got a phone call from one of my homegirls, Erica, and she woke me up that morning with the words, "Hey, Flower Mama," I sat still for a little while and thought about it. I meditated on that feeling. And that feeling, I noticed, was actually a longing, a craving, not only to be seen that way, but to not be afraid to be seen that way. Feeling, I realized, yeah, absolutely. Sit me in the soil underneath the sun that's seeking me out. I used to be a flower child. Now I'm a flower mama. I'm grown. I just bought a crib out in the country and I ain't moving out. Love me long or leave me alone. I need stability for my soul. Those lyrics are the most affirming lyrics I've ever written. And she identified me by that truth. And so the name Flower Mama resonates with me deeply. If you happen to see me outside, yes, I will answer you if you say, hey, Flower Mama. Good morning, Flower Mama. That may be niche, but it's what I have the capacity for now. I don't know how big that cup is or how small that cup is. I just know I'm happy that that's the cup. So cheers to my Flower Mama era. Thank you for hearing me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the engagement in this moment. Be sure to follow this journey if it resonates with you on Instagram, Facebook, on the website, on TikTok. Make sure you follow the boutique. This is my favorite moment so far. I am so thankful for this time, this Flower Mama era. All right, let's do this together. Jazz.
I only got